I'd like to thank the grace of heaven and the virtues of the masters and mercy and compassion of the predecessors, grand predecessors, transmitters, temple masters, for giving me this chance, opportunity to talk about today's topic, which is a continuation of the what we call the 15 precepts. It's been it's been what, a few classes, at least a couple months probably since Transmitter Ray gave the first two, right? I think it's probably a couple months, probably towards the beginning of the year. So I don't know. I don't remember what was the background he gave about. There's a background to these what we call 15 precepts or rules. You can say rules. Yeah, technically it's rules of the temple, but it actually applies in everyday life. Okay, so these are called 15. Yeah, we say precepts. Precepts just means like guidelines, rules. I mean, if you want to be strict, it's like 15 commandments, 15. Just guidelines. You can say guidelines. Okay, to follow. All right. The reason we have this is because we are in this white era, right? I mean, I don't know if Transmitter Ray talked about it. And so now the Tao is being, you can say, is being taught to or cultivated by more people, right? Much more people. And also different levels of people, right? Different levels. You have some people who are really, good cultivators, or really, you can say, very sincere, very wholehearted. And some, full-time, you can say. And some are like, part-time, part-time cultivators. So you have a whole range, spectrum of people, right? Because it's now not open, or the opportunity for people to enter or receive the Tao is now kind of wide open, right? Not like during the time of Buddha, which is, more than likely, I would say 99% of the time, are people who are hardcore seekers of enlightenment, right? Pretty much, right? Pretty much, right? I can pretty much. I mean, yeah. Later on, when Buddha became established, his reputation became. Yeah, there are more and more what we call lay practitioners. That means non-monastery or non-monastic practitioners. That's okay. But they also have precepts too, rules for them. It's less strict than the monastic, precepts, which is there are many. They're like 4,000 or something. That does a lot. There's several hundred, then it goes to 4,000, but it doesn't matter. I think 4,000 or 8,000. I forgot. It's a lot. So those are stricter. But those are for the what we call hardcore, full-time practitioners, right? People who are willing to give up everything, right? Be a monk or nun, right? Shave their head, right? Only have 2 sets of clothes for themselves and a pair of sandals or whatever, and that's it. And go begging for food once a day. I mean, that's the today. It's a lot different. You can say it's a lot more relaxed or less strict. Okay, so we have this type of 15 we call precepts, rules for us to follow, because now our practice is no longer, or our form of cultivation need not to be, quote unquote, as strict like the monastic order. Okay? Like you have to give up everything, and cultivate full time. No. It's no longer that. It's because that takes too long. Because that's the slow, gradual. That's called the 渐法, right? 渐, I mean, 渐, that 渐修, that means it's gradual cultivation. It means steady, slow cultivation, okay? We no longer have to follow that method or that form of practice, which was in the red era, okay? But today, because, we're in this quote-unquote white era, or the salvation of the 3 Rome era, right? It's, you do simultaneous, parallel, multitask, or whatever you want to call it. It's, you can still have a job, you can still have a family, you can still whatever, be a student, etc., whatever. Hold a job, do whatever you want. But simultaneously, we also can practice, right? Cultivate, right? Okay, and so So we have, quote unquote, these 15 guidelines to help us cultivate in our daily lives. Okay, not just a temple. Yes, and a very narrow set. It deals with, when we are at the temple, we have to, be mindful and follow these 15 guidelines, right? But actually, it's broader. Okay, all right. So that's okay. So let's go to the third one, which is this. Okay, right? 在庄中正, right? Well, I don't know what why did they do that. Okay, so basically, what is called, okay, what is the translation of this? Okay, now, I don't know why he doesn't have a translation for this, but anyway, this has a translation. It just means, you can say, that's a 在庄中正一, right? No, 在庄中正, that's it, just 4, sorry. So basically, this is the translation, literal translation of those 4 characters. Okay? So the first one means be restrained. Yeah, you can say 在庄, dignified. Yeah, that's definitely true. Dignified. 中, centered, and principle. Okay? 中 means proper. You can say proper. Okay? Proper principle. All right? Okay? Center means has many meanings, but it broadly you can say, it's the middle path. Or be centered according to our human Buddha nature. Okay, so it's no extreme. You can say it can be non-extreme or non-biased. You can say that. Okay, all right. Okay, so all right. So that's what the meaning. It's okay. All right. So that's what literally what this 4 words mean. Okay. All right. So now because remember these are 15 regulations of the temple, right? So generally, if you apply this in the temple, right? In the temple, it means that it's not that we have to be dressed properly, right? Or meekly, we be humble, or to the temple, meekly to the temple. It just means follow. We should say follow humbly, humbly according to the temple, according to the guidelines of the temple or whatever, and dress attire. That's the external side. So that's within the context of in the temple setting, environment, whatever, right? That's not wrong. That's true. That's true. Okay, so this is correct in that respect. Okay, all right, and also that we have to present ourselves, right, in a dignified manner, right? Be it's neatly combed hair. Dignified. It just means that we shouldn't be. For example, and a lot of people, I've seen some, especially the newer people, the newer, cultivators, is that, they come to the temple wearing a t-shirt and shorts and sandals. It's rare now. It's not summer. That's why we don't see that. But occasionally you see that, right? Or people wearing, what do you call that? Sports outfit? Not sports outfit. Sweat. Sweats. I want to say sweats. Thank God I don't remember seeing anybody wearing pajamas to the temple. But you wear sweats. Hey, I sleep in my sweats. So during the winter. Summer. But that's not dignified. Okay, that's not. I would hope, even let's say, since we're in the West, if you go to, a church, synagogue, or mosque, God forbid mosque. Mosque is extremely strict, right? We should know that, right? A mosque is very strict. You know that, right? If you go to an Islamic mosque, you have to, take off your shoes, your sandals. You know that? You have to wash your feet, wash your hands, and you have to dress appropriately. You can't. And that the women have to cover their head. Yeah, you know that? Yeah, you guys don't know that? Yeah, if you go to mosque. Church, you don't have to do that. Synagogues, you don't have to do that in general, and depending on what kind of Jewish group denomination. But at least you still have to be appropriately dressed and have a dignified manner to enter a church. Coming to a temple, I think we should bear in mind that we should be at least as strict as those groups. We cannot be less. We have to be at least as strict, because that's reasonable. It's not unreasonable. It's not. Even though we say, the church is, the temple is your home too. But it's not, we should not be overly casual, right? 太随便, too casual, such that, you wear sweats. Next thing you know, people will swim trunks come to the temple. My God. I don't know. Maybe they expect there's a sauna here. I don't know. Or jacuzzi, whatever. But that's absurd, right? Come on. So we have to bear in mind, what is the purpose of a temple? It's not to come here and socialize, even though some churches do bingos and stuff like that. Okay, whatever. Yeah, they do, whatever. But, it's what's the function of a church? Of a temple. It's to come here to learn, to worship, right? Okay, so we have to do it in a dignified manner, right? At least, right? Even the ancient primitives, the primitives, let's say Stonehenge. Stonehenge, like what, 5,000 years ago, roughly? Even when they, and it's not like a temple, but at least a place of worship. They worship, whatever their god or whatever. They have to dress appropriately too. They have to, do rituals and ceremony. They have to be solemn, dignified too. So we at least, can be tried to be like that. Okay. So this is something that we have to bear in mind. But this is all external stuff. This is all external, and this is very basic. Actually, there's a deeper level. Actually, all these 15 precepts has I don't want to say it's hidden meaning. There's a simple way of view is there's an external guideline or interpretation, an external external guideline, method of doing things, performing things, okay, or cultivating vis-a-vis the temple, with respect to the temple setting. That's the external side. Okay, that means we have to dress properly, behave properly, be dignified, okay, that type of thing. But then there's also an internal aspect, and that's why that's why I say that internal aspect applies to us 24/7. Okay, even not just at the temple, but outside the temple, i.e., be at our homes, at work, at school, etc. Okay. All right, so there are two parts, right? So there's an internal and external. So the external is all this, okay? It's like, we have to dress appropriately, behave appropriately, etc. That's what this one means, okay? So be restrained, dignified, centered, don't don't be extreme, so behave extreme, in extreme and be principled. That means do what is proper, right? We don't laugh, joke around, horse around. Maybe the kids do because they still don't understand. Okay, but just behave properly, right? Okay, so these are all external side, right? Okay, all right. So, but there's an internal aspect, okay, and all right, the internal aspect. It's this, okay? It's our heart and mind, right? Has to be proper, right? And then that's part of it. You can say, okay, part of the principled and restrained, okay? But also, we cannot. How can I say? We have to control our. You can say 5 senses, 6 senses, 5, whatever, right? We have to be restrained. We have to, be in control. In other words. When we come to the temple, externally we behave properly, we don't talk out of turn, we dress appropriately. But if our mind is daydreaming, then that's not following this precept, because our mind should be focused or centered, if you will, on. Ideally, that the highest level is, be at one with our Buddha nature. I mean, that's the way that kind of like generalizes everything. It's to focus on, we're here for a reason, for a purpose, right? And it's to learn, to practice, right? To worship, you can say, right? To learn and practice. So if your mind is wandering, so a lot of times I see, everybody, we have, how can I say, maybe we have, rough time, rough schedule, whatever, on Saturdays or whatever. So I see a lot of people, they come to the class, they're externally, they're well behaved, whatever, it's fine. But then I see people sleeping in class. That's funny. I mean, to me, that's kind of, that means we violated this precept. We didn't follow this because you can say, oh, well, we're not wandering around, but you're not paying attention. You're not focused on learning, right, or on listening. So, we just have to be mindful. I mean, at least you're present, which is okay. That's external side, but we miss the other half, which is the internal side. Okay, so we just have to be mindful. Okay, always be alert, aware. Okay, whatever. It's aware. It has to do with awareness. Okay, all right. So we have to make sure that even though our five senses, right, our eyes, we're not wandering around. We're not seeing what we shouldn't see or listening to what we shouldn't listen. Some people, they come to class, they they listen to their music on their iPod or whatever, whatever. But anyway, okay. So we're not doing that. But the sixth is what our mind, right? The sixth, we have to be focused. We have to be careful, okay, of what we're thinking. All right. Okay. So so that's what I'm saying. Also, you have to be, it's just, in control what our mind is. Like I say, you may be present, but if your mind is wondering about, well, let's say, I got things that I want to, you're just thinking about things, thinking about mundane things, like work, whatever, or, I have to buy this, I have to, do this, we just have to try not to do that. Okay, try to be focused. All right. Okay, because think about it. Whether or not you're physically present, if we don't exert effort or make an effort, right, to learn and practice, then it's a waste of everybody. It's a waste of your own time, of precious time, right? So we just have to be mindful that if whenever, even though you're present, you may be tired, you may be whatever, but at least make an effort, and gradually that will help us, okay, in that journey of cultivation. If we just come here every day and don't pay attention and everything, I mean, not every day, every week, whatever, that's really a big waste of time. Because you might as well stay home, okay? Because it's not really helping you, okay? And we're talking about you. It's really of no benefit to you, okay? All right? So I'm just saying. So it's not just the external aspect, okay? At least I come to the temple every week. But if you don't exert an effort or focus your mind to learn and practice, then it's really a big waste. Okay, so that's why it says you have to shu, right? Nei de. That means, we have to. Literally, it means to cultivate our inner virtue. Yeah, literally, it just means to focus internally and make an effort to progress, right? To learn, to nurture those virtues, to bring out the virtues of our Buddha nature, all right, of that innate nature, all right. So that's really part of the Eightfold Path, right? The vigorous effort, right? Is that number 6? I think it's number 6. And the fifth paramita? Is it a fifth paramita? Yeah, I think it's the fifth paramita, right? Right? 沉静, yeah. 清净. It means, yeah. yeah, to make an effort, to make a very, okay? All right, so we have to be mindful of that, okay? All right, wow, there's so much to say. Okay, yeah, okay, now, so that's about thoughts and everything. Okay, so it says, so we have to be careful of what, the five senses, six really, because that's the mind, right? Okay, all right. So yeah, covered literally means it's covered in worldly dust. It just means it's not pure. It's defiled. That means we are still so attached. You can say attached to these mundane things, worldly things. Okay, so that's why the inner side is we have to, whenever we. Now, if I'm speaking, okay, even though we're speaking about in the temple, we have to at least relinquish, let go of our mundane things. That's why whenever we come to the temple, personally, I try not to talk about mundane things, because we're here to learn and practice about the Tao, right? About, and it's not, like I say, a social club, right? Okay, so we try to at least let go. I mean, if you want to talk mundane things, you have 6 days of the week to do that, right? Okay, but actually, at a higher level, in our daily lives, we should try to reduce. Okay, and that will lead to the sixth one, number six, which is 众圣轻凡, right? Which is to emphasize more on the holy as opposed to the worldly, right? Mundane. Okay, that has something to do with that too. Okay, I mean that. Okay, so we should just, okay. So the key is, we have to maintain a dignified dignity, inner dignity, as well as external dignity. Okay, so that's what the full meaning of this precept, okay, is that inner meaning, what that, right? Remember I talked about the 5 or 6 senses, right? That we have to be focused, we have to be dignified in our thoughts, in our what we think, what are we, okay, all that stuff, all right, so that all our senses are dignified, okay, or that means are proper, right? Centered, you can say principle, proper, all right? Restrain, right? Restrain what we say, what we think, what we hear, right? Okay, all that stuff, all right? So that's then what truly is called being dignified and proper and centered, okay? All right? So, all right, wow, now we go into more detail. So how do we do that? How do we achieve that? Okay, the first is that we have to, it says 正自己 means, literally rectify ourselves, correct ourselves, right? Correct ourselves. We have to demand of ourselves, right? Each of ourselves to be proper, to be centered, all that stuff, right? Before, then, only then, if we could do that first. So it's not easy, okay? If we could do that first, and then we can help others to rectify themselves, okay? All right? So, so in order to rectify ourselves first, we have to what? This. It says, renew, regain. 恢复, means restore, to return to. It means that. It just means that we really have to. The simple word in Chinese is 明心见性. Okay, we have to understand what is our true nature, and then we have to express that true nature. Or 见 means to see, to regard, but okay, it just means that we have to learn about what is our true nature. Okay, it's not based on our intellectual thoughts or anything like that, or philosophies or stuff like that. Okay, so we have to do that. All right, so that's why, you know, we place a lot of emphasis on learning about what our Buddha nature is. Right? What is that? Later on, is it the number fifth precept? We talk about our what is our that changeless or eternal heart and mind, or 常住真心, right? That's 常住 literally means permanent. You can say permanent, it can mean eternal. What is that eternal or changeless, unperturbed mind, heart? It's our Buddha nature. It's not our thoughts. Okay, all right. So it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. Okay. So once we could do that, and this is already it's a you can say it's a big mountain to climb. But if we could do this, then the rest is easy. I don't say the rest is easy. I don't say it's downhill, but it's then and only then it becomes. Then we can transform or influence others. Okay, because why? Because it's genuine. It's coming out of our Buddha nature, our true nature. It's non-conditioned. That's very important. You have no ulterior motive. It's not based on ulterior motives. Yeah, right. A lot of teaching that we learn, it has a lot of conditions, or it's conditioned, or has ulterior motives. You know what I'm saying? But this is the and so therefore, if you have conditions or ulterior motives, people can have doubts about your sincerity, or doubts about your aims, your purpose, right? But if it's non-conditioned or genuine, bona fide, etc., that comes straight from our sincere heart, all right, mind, then people will not question you. Right? Won't have doubts or suspicion. Say, hey, do you have another purpose in mind, or something like that, right? So that's why we focus. We have to try to attain this first. Okay, that's the big mountain to climb. You can say that. Yeah, it's true. But once we could do that, now it doesn't mean that we have to attain 100%. However much we achieve, we can influence others. Okay, so it's parallel. It's a parallel. You don't have to say, oh, I have to become a Buddha first. Wait till I become a Buddha, then I'll worry about the others. We don't have time for that. Okay, we don't have time for that. Number one. Okay, and number one, we don't have time. Number two, it's very impractical. All right, because we're not isolated in some mountain monastery cave where you have no dealings with the external world, so you can just focus on becoming a Buddha or becoming enlightened. Unfortunately, we're not in that mode of practice, right? We, like I said, we now have to do things, you can say, simultaneously, okay? All right, in parallel. So that's why however much you can achieve, we can also influence or affect others, right? Okay, so, all right. Okay, all right. All right, then, then let's skip that. Okay, I think this is good enough. Yeah, good enough. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so the key is, if we could hold on to this, you can say, abide by this, we say propriety language, or the propriety, or the, you can say rules, propriety, the rules, the conducts, okay. That as long as we conform this, then we can realize. Like I said, it has to be genuine. It has to come truly from our true nature, okay? Because a lot of times people become suspicious, as, oh yeah, you treat me so nice because you want me to do something. So we got to be careful, right? So as long as we are genuine and sincere, then that's the best we can hope for. And naturally, actually, our genuineness or our genuine sincerity will present itself in such a way that others will not become suspicious. Okay, so that's very important. All right. Okay. Only then, if we have this type of attitude, okay, then we can help to influence others. Now, 为义来摄受 right 影响别人 okay I want to summarize use another 4 words to express this these 4 right this is remember the 4 what called that 四为义 right remember the 4 awe-inspiring postures we say postures or comportments that's another word it's what it's the 4 what's the 4 well, the Buddha nature class we have that Buddha nature glossary come on we have that you know what the 4 comportments are yeah walking so if we could behave like that or conduct ourselves the 4 is right which is standing 住 right 行坐 卧 right standing walking sitting and reclining so that's the external side that's external okay all right so you know so we have to be mindful okay of what our you can say our conduct our behavior okay so if we could do that that's the external side all right okay let me skip I already spent too much time on the 3rd thing I want to skip okay then we can if we can each other the reason why I just brought this up the 4 all inside is you know it seems that yeah you know most I mean I'm not talking about the children most of the adults in the adult classes we pretty much behave properly I mean you know unless people are new you know we don't cross our legs so when we sit we sit pretty well we don't slouch as much I mean you know and at least when we stand we don't you know we stand pretty proper we walk pretty proper okay so all right class but it seems that this 4 inspiring comportments conducts or behavior breaks down during lunch it's weird I mean I don't mean to say it as a joke but it's true I mean you know we don't have to be I mean I'm laughing because you know it seems that you know these 4 components we only observe it when we have class but then once class is over during lunch it's like back to like a marketplace okay so no seriously it seems I mean we don't I don't know that's my personal observation I don't know how you guys how you people take it but we have to be mindful the 4 comportments okay applies 24/7 okay even when you're lying down in bed okay for crying out loud okay so never mind you know eating okay or during lunch okay so you know we just have to be mindful right you know we speak so much we talk with our mouths full we talk over the food you know over that it's you know I don't know it seems you know it's like a joke but it's true right it's true so we just have to be mindful okay and this is all external so you know a lot of people especially newcomers when they observe us during lunch we have to be very you know careful we have to feel I feel very embarrassed okay I would feel embarrassed okay so we just have to be mindful okay you know all right the 4 components apply even when we have lunch okay so and that's just the external side never mind the internal okay all right wow hey how come this is it where's the next page this is it
that's all he translated
oh you're kidding me you're kidding
you didn't check when you were
okay now let's go follow this this is next better okay so the next 4 is 顺规 right 顺规道具 right 循规道具 right okay 循规 literally means to follow the rules you can say rules to 循 means to be in accordance with okay to follow the rules okay 道具 it's Yeah, you can say observe. Yeah, observe the boundary, the limitation. Okay, the limits of our behavior. Okay, or or like you don't cross a line, right? Like, the, like there are certain lines we can't cross, right? Okay, so this is now this is now yeah be it in ethics, okay, be in ethics, okay, all right, be in ethical behavior, especially in proprieties, okay, all right. So you can say follow rules is like propriety, yeah, you can say it's like propriety, and this is ethics, okay. You can say this is ethical behavior, okay, all right, okay. I don't know why you. How come you don't have this? Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. So what does follow rules mean? Okay, follow rules. Okay, it's not in here. There should be another one like this. This is the one that Transmitter Lin did. It's a 福贵15条. It's Transmitter Lin is the one who did this, or Judy. It's one of them. It doesn't matter. Okay. So what is? Oh, let's see. Did I emphasize? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay, let me go to the first one first. Okay. Holy Teacher said it's not in here. It's not. Sorry. Is it in here? I don't think it's in here. I don't think it's in here. Okay. It's in this one. Okay. This one. Well, what I want to say is, how do we correct ourselves and then help others correct them? It's that, yeah. Not only do we have to apply our Buddha nature and conform, but the key is maintain. Now, this is the internal part, okay? We have to make sure that our mind and heart is pure. So that means we have to try to focus on our Buddha nature. Try to have a calm mind. Okay, first of all, no thoughts, right? Try not no thoughts, but try to control our thoughts or reduce our mental thoughts, and then let our Buddha nature come out. Okay, and the thing is, as long one way to reach that stage is try to have what? A unbiased mind. It's not easy, right? We have a very, we were brought up to have, biases or discrimination, right? Or whatever, okay? And also have to have proper thoughts. So that's why all these, 戒, we in Chinese they call it 戒, right? Or you can say precepts, yeah, it's precepts, commandments, rules, whatever, okay, take place, okay, or applies, and one important aspect of how do we, how can I say, control our minds and time is to what? Be able to restrain those, or minimize, or ideally to prevent the six desires and 7 emotions, 七情六欲, right? That's a very, you can say, human nature type, right? It's kind of, it's very, so anybody know what the 7 emotions are? Yeah, it's in the Buddha nature glossary too, right? It's joy, anger, happiness, sadness, love, hate, and desires or lust. Okay, so that's 7. So if you notice, the first 3 are opposites, right? Joy and anger, right? Those 2 are opposites, right? Happiness and sorrow, those are opposites, right? I mean, those are 2 extremes. You can say two extremes. And then love and hate, right? 2 extremes. And then lust, or you can say desires. Okay, so those are the 7 emotions we have to be careful, because our Buddha nature don't have those, doesn't have that. Okay, doesn't have it. Those are all part of human nature, right? Because we have a very, you can say, dialectical mind, right? Okay, or emotions. And then what are the 6 desires? Okay, we know it's the 5 senses on top. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's the 5 senses on top of the, this is what, right? Transmitter lin, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, right here, I was going to talk about this, right? So, right, these are the 7 emotions, right? Okay. So, all right, okay. So the key is, if we can, you can say let go, but focus. Try not to have too many crazy thoughts. Ideally, we should have minimum thoughts and focus on our Buddha nature. What is that? You can say our conscience, partly. Yeah, that's part of it. And we can kind of minimize this, okay? Minimize this. And then we also minimize this, which is the what? The 5 senses plus our mind. Get it? So the 5 senses are plus mind. Well, if we continue to follow that, or to stir up that, or to further progress and just keep following down the path of always constantly using our 6 senses, we will result in those 7 emotions. Understand? Right? So we have to be careful. All right? So all right? So yeah, the sixth sensory is from the 5 senses and the mind. Okay? All right? Okay? So let's go to this. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now follow rules. Yeah. Okay? So okay. Now, what's observe boundaries? Oh, okay. Yeah, follow rules. Yeah, to follow the discipline. I say precept. It should be precept. Okay? All right? And I can say precept. Rules. Okay? To conform oneself, which is what I mean. We should do according to what the rules say. Okay, basically that's what it means. Okay, that's what the external means. Okay, and then the internal. The second half is to observe boundaries. Means that we should do according to what is our responsibilities. Okay, we say duties, and now it says walk steadily without ostentation. That's a very awkward translation. Ostentation, you know what ostentation means, right? Yeah, ostentation. Yeah, it means to show off. Ostentatious, right? To there's another word for it. I forgot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. It's just it means we should do it without saying, "Hey, everybody, look, I'm doing this. I'm that." That's what I mean. Now, walk steadily. There's a better way of saying it. I wouldn't say walk steadily. I would say, we said walk. That means, be sturdy, okay? Be short-footed, okay? Yeah, it means walk steady right here. I mean, literally this phrase, 踏踏实实的去走. That's what it is.
Well,
yeah, no. Walk steadily. No. Yeah, well, not just practical, but yeah, it also means we do things, honestly and without any concerns or anxiety. Actually, it could mean relaxed. Okay, it could mean relaxed too. Okay, so it just means that we should not do it with any pretense. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, do it without any pretense. Get it? Okay, pretense could mean, it just means without, you can say, conditions or whatever. Okay, all right, without pretense. Okay, so now what the holy teacher said is that, okay, so just follow rules and observe does not mean that it's just good enough to only inherit the external, right? So I say, okay, so that's the external, right, side. Okay, we have to ask ourselves, are we following it internally in our heart and mind? That's what it is. Okay, or the regulations of the temple within us. People don't realize that. Oh yeah, there's an external temple. Temple. I can see that. Yeah. We have statues, we have altar, etc. They don't realize that each one of us have an internal temple. You know that? Mm-hmm. That's our Buddha nature. Okay, that's our Buddha nature. So we should be following what our Buddha nature, according what our Buddha nature is. Not the mind, not the intellectual mind. Okay, but the Buddha nature. Okay, that is. Okay, that's what it is. So what is the temple within our heart? That's the. They say one nature was in it. In Chinese, actually, this term, this phrase, anybody know where it came from? It's the first 2 lines of the San Zi Jing, the 3 character. Yeah, which is Confucius, which is what Confucian principle said. It just means man initially, or humans initially, okay, are fundamentally pure, good. You can say good. or pure, yeah, pure, good. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so the translation means that literally means that we humans at birth is basically good in nature. That's what it means. Because why? Our Buddha nature is innately pure and good. The reason why, now he says, at birth we're born like that, like a young, baby, like a baby. The reason why we say, oh well, but then look at humans today, we're all evil too. A lot of people have evil. It's because we pick that up, or we are influenced by the environment, right, or by what we are taught, or what we see, we hear, whatever, and then we digress. I mean, yeah, we become. I don't say become polluted, become defiled, and then we take on the human nature aspect. Okay, that's the reason why. Okay, so but at birth or in the very beginning, our Buddha nature is pure and good. It's just that over time, our human nature takes over, and human nature is influenced, right? I mean, yes, we can say, yeah, there is something that's genetic, yeah, that's passed on. Yeah, you can say that. That's, our, let's say, our parents are, I don't know, whatever, have certain genetic traits, whatever, right? So when you're born, and then you probably take on some trait or personalities, but also that's the internal aspect. But then also over time, as depending on the environment and how one is nurtured, we also pick those traits up too, right? So those are all human nature aspects, but it's not the Buddha nature. Okay, it's just that the reason why we end up that way is because we don't realize our Buddha nature. We don't know that we have a pure innate nature. Okay, all right. So that's what is this translation. What our one's nature. It means we innately, when we're first born, we have a true nature that is good, that is already pure and good. All right. Okay. So that's why everybody is equipped with this. You can say, yeah, part of that. What to describe what is that original good, or pure goodness. You can say. A part of that is our conscience. You can say that. Yeah, you can say a conscience is an indication, or it's a hint of that original good or manifestation, right? So okay, so that's why we say that. Okay, 良心, right? In Chinese they call it 良心. It's right here, right? All humans originally have that. Okay, so we have to ask ourselves, according to a holy teacher. All right, whether we have, when we dealt with people or deal with matters, have we been doing it according to our conscience? And I wouldn't say disciplines. I would say precepts. Okay, I mean these disciplines. Okay, have we deal, or do we have ulterior motives, or do we have or have we treat others sincerely, compassion. Okay, So Holy says our conscience is that discipline, is that boundary. Okay, is that so? As long as we can do things that does not violate our conscience, then we are within the boundary. You get it? We are within that boundary. Okay, or limit. Okay, all right. So that means, of course, we don't kill, we don't lie, we don't steal. Now, there's also another aspect, which is the wisdom part of how do you do that? That's a little bit, because then that becomes condition. So those are like secondary conditions. This is the primary condition. It's that we have to follow our conscience, okay, or abide, or conform to our conscience. Then that's the primary condition. Then there's a secondary. There's secondary, which depends on the situation. Okay, so that's different. That's really the wisdom aspect. Okay, but that's okay. So what Holy Teacher says, yeah, we should not just always look at the external side. Okay, we should always, yeah, he says that the have to be followed, but one needs to be more mindful of the precepts from the heart, of the i.e. our conscience. Okay, we as long as we don't violate that conscience, then that's called observing the boundaries. Okay, all right, okay. Now, this thing, this translation is not that good. It goes, right? It says, 时常擦拭心中的浮灯，不让自己违背天良才真正的 right? Okay. Now, yeah, people say, well, why do we have to wipe clean, right? This means clean. To wipe, yeah, it literally means that. Literally. Okay? Yeah. So that's what it's just constantly wipe clean, right? Okay. Now, 6 patriarchs said, that lamp, there's no lamp. I mean, well, or no mirror. He says no mirror. So why do we need to constantly? It's true. It's true. Now, what Holy Teacher is saying is that basically wipe clean the human mind, human heart, so that our Buddha nature lamp will shine. Get it? So it means get rid of those human emotions, desires. Once you could wipe those clean, right? What's left is that pure Buddha lamp, we call it Buddha nature lamp, okay, whatever, all right? Then that will shine, okay? That's what it means, all right? So I think this translation is not 100% good, but anyway, it doesn't matter, okay? And then do not act against one's heavenly conscience. That's the conscience of our Buddha nature, right? So that's why, if you really want to, like one example of the application of that, its practice is we don't eat meat. We're vegans even, okay? So because it's really unconscionable or contrary to our heavenly conscience or our Buddha nature to kill another living animal, i.e. sentient being, for its meat or for its food, okay? For food, okay? So it's unconscionable. Under that makes sense? Okay, so if you want to get to the core, never mind the health benefits or whatever, right? Because it's unconscionable because it's going to create karma. It will lead to karma. How is that creation? Bad karma. I mean, in this case, bad karma. Okay? All right. Okay? So Buddha, Holy Teacher is saying, yes, besides the external aspect, the internal side is that we have to basically relinquish, let go of all that human nature mind, those desires, right, from the previous, and let our conscience from our Buddha nature express itself, right? Okay? And that is what is called following the rules and observing boundaries. Okay? That's the internal side. So that's 24/7, right? It's not just in a temple, right? So, dang, I only did 3 and 4. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, all right. This one's pretty good too. Oh, wait, hold on. Remember we talk about Buddha nature stuff. Okay, so number 3. So the way to summarize number 3 from a Buddha nature perspective is to really to follow our Buddha nature. You can say 常住真心, be at one. Literally it means to abide, but be at one, conform, be in accordance with our Buddha nature. Okay, all right. And number 4, the way to it means to, you can say, respect, honor, and observe our temple within ourselves. Okay, because this is more or less, this means it could be external side, on the surface meaning, but the inner one is that we have an inner, i.e., we have to follow that conscience, that, okay, do not do things that's contrary to our Buddha nature, i.e. our conscience. Okay, all right? Okay. That's all we have time for. I'm sorry it took so long, but there are things that I do not say satisfactorily, so I beg Buddha's forgiveness. Thank you.